It is the first day of class. The teacher tells us to introduce ourselves, say your name and where you're from. My ethnic title strikes a chord in their ears, and their jaws almost roll across the tile when I announce that I am from the Caribbean. There is one girl, far more curious than the rest. She tries to befriend me and goes on about how she visited the Caribbean last summer and how much she loves Rihanna, even though she can't understand a word she's saying. The same girl that has the nerve to come to my island and get braids and beads is calling my language gibberish. Same girl who asked me why I don't speak in my Bob Marley accent or if everyone back home smokes weed. When I was younger, my mother kept me from speaking Crucian, so I unbraid my tongue. I adapt to speak the king's English. So maybe the college classroom in front of the rest of our peers isn't the best place to ask me if my culture is something more than shaking ass, as if as a child I didn't whine and woke up for my culture. As if you don't see people from the Caribbean as anything less than sculptures, stoic, still, monoliths defined by your very narrow lens. When people ask me where my island is, I await the dreaded, no pun intended, question of how close is that to Jamaica? So I have to work to assimilate and stay away from my birthright. She said me have to keep quiet unless you don't want a job, because when they hear you come down the street, they think it affectation, ignorance, joke. There is a history attached to this tongue, and it's a shame you'll never taste how rich it is, because you'll never see me as anything more than the beach. As if I can be completely digested through the straw of a fruity drink so sweet it makes your teeth rot. Sometimes I feel a panic creep up my neck when I stir sugar into my coffee. Colonizers came for sugar cane, and their legacy lives on in my light skin and my cup. My coffee was black until they mixed their milk and turned my language and I into a caramel mulatto macchiato. Did you know that people from the United States Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico can't vote but still have to abide by laws that they have no say in? Did you know that they were referred to as an unincorporated organized territory? Did you know that's a fancy way of saying colony? My great-aunt lived to be 114 and got passed from one captor to another. Other Caribbean islands wonder how we can be called the Virgin Islands if we get passed around so much. Our tourists tell us, our Department of Tourism tells us to be kind to tourists, that tourists are always right, even as they litter on our coast and turn our hemisphere into a tropic of cancer. The government wants to invest on the outside as if my people themselves are not the gold. When we're leaving for college and heading off to the mainland, they tell us to get ready for the real world, as if this forever stable heat means that we were in an incubator. And yet, here is this girl on the mainland in a college classroom, standing in her ignorance like Columbus thought he was standing in India.